Hello again to all of you Cinemaniacs out there, and welcome back to Arrow Senior Living's Marvel Cinematic Universe Weekend Movie Marathon Primer Series. My name is Aaron Neeson, Arrow's Visual Media Director, and I am your guide through this marathon, preparing you for the movies you are going to be enjoying with reminders and tips on important events and characters you will be seeing. Today, we are laying the groundwork for Deadpool and Wolverine, the 34th and final movie we are watching in this series for 2025. We just watched The Marvels, where we saw Captain Marvel and her team take on Dar-Ben, the Kree leader, who was stealing life-sustaining elements from planets that were important to Captain Marvel to rejuvenate Hala, the Kree homeworld. The team was able to stop Dar-Ben before she depleted Earth's sun, but Monica Rambeau got trapped in an alternate universe when she closed a rift in space-time from the other side. She awoke to an alternate version of her mother, Maria, who was dead in her original universe, but her mother had no memory of any daughter. Maria was wearing a superhero outfit, and Monica was being cared for by Beast, a mutant from X-Men, and a character we have not met in the mainline universe. In said mainline universe, Captain Marvel restarted Hala's sun, beginning the Kree people on a path toward healing. And finally, we saw Miss Marvel meet up with the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, who debuted in the TV show Hawkeye. And Miss Marvel spoke to her about gathering young heroes together to start a new superhero team. I hope you enjoyed The Marvels. It is a really fun movie with a lot of creativity and joy that really resonated with me, and I hope it did with you too. But now it is time to move on to the next and final movie in our marathon, Deadpool and Wolverine. So, what do you need to know for this one? Well, let's go over some characters and events you need to keep in mind for this film. No spoilers yet, I promise to warn you before we talk about those. First and foremost, you should be aware that this movie is rated R for strong, bloody violence and language throughout, gore, and sexual references. This is not a film for children, and you should be aware that you are in for an irreverent and vulgar film, though it is in service of a funny, action-packed, and heartfelt story with some very strong performances. So, that being said, here are some characters you should know about as the movie begins. This movie is actually the third movie starring Deadpool, and Wolverine was featured in many X-Men movies as well as his own films, so it's assumed that you are familiar with these characters as the movie begins. Of note, the previous movies are not a part of the main Marvel universe, much in the same way that the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were not. So here we have Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, a mercenary with aspirations to be a hero. He was diagnosed with an incurable form of cancer, but underwent experimental treatment, which cured his cancer and gave him superhuman healing, but also caused him to have extreme scarring across his entire body. Logan, aka Wolverine, a mutant and member of the X-Men. He has superhuman healing and senses, as well as claws that extend from his knuckles. He also has adamantium, an indestructible metal, grafted to his bones and claws. Deadpool also has a cast of supporting characters from his previous movies that you will see, including his love, Vanessa, the X-Men Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Yukio, his friends Dopinder and Blind Al, and his former comrade-in-arms, Peter. Some of these characters factor into the plot more than others, but they will all appear. Additionally, the Time Variance Authority, which was introduced in the TV show Loki that was controlled by Kang the Conqueror, the villain from Quantumania, comes into play in this movie, though Kang is no longer in control of the TVA in this film. Okay, so now we're going to talk about plot, and there will be some spoilers. If you want to go into the movie spoiler-free, then it's time to turn off this video and enjoy the film. Okay, everyone here is good with some plot points being spoiled, right? Then let's get into it. So, we join Deadpool at a bit of a low point. He and Vanessa have broken up. He briefly left his universe and came to the MCU only to be rejected by the Avengers, and he is no longer working as a mercenary or hero, but is instead selling cars with his friend Peter. At his birthday party, the Time Variance Authority shows up and collects Wade. Mr. Paradox, who is in charge, tells Deadpool that because the Wolverine of his universe died, his universe is now unraveling. The Wolverine that died being the Wolverine from the movie Logan. So Deadpool decides to find another Wolverine to replace him. After some misadventures with other Wolverines, Deadpool collects a Wolverine who is considered to be the worst Wolverine and brings him to the TVA. However, Deadpool realizes that Mr. Paradox isn't trying to save Deadpool's universe, but was instead trying to recruit Deadpool to work for him and actually intends to destroy Deadpool's universe even faster using a device called the Time Ripper. When Deadpool rejects Mr. Paradox's offer, both Deadpool and Wolverine are transported to the Void, a wasteland at the end of time where a creature named Eliath devours whoever winds up there and erases them from existence. There, Deadpool and Wolverine encounter the powerful and sadistic Cassandra Nova and her band of villains, who oversee the Void for the TVA. Deadpool and Wolverine manage to escape Cassandra and encounter other heroes who have been banished to the Void, including Blade from the Blade movies, Gambit from the X-Men, Elektra from the Daredevil and Elektra movies, and X-23, or Laura, from the movie Logan. Together, they must somehow work together to defeat Cassandra Nova, escape the Void, and stop Mr. Paradox before he can use the Time Ripper to destroy Deadpool's universe. And that is where I'm going to stop. I want to assure you that even though I just threw a lot at you, the movie does a great job of telling a tight, cohesive story that doesn't get lost in the weeds of the multiverse. You're going to have a great time if you don't worry too much about who is from what movie and just enjoy yourself. Fun bit of trivia: Deadpool first appeared in the comics in the New Mutants number 98 in February of 1991. He was initially created as a parody of the DC character Deathstroke, aka Slade Wilson. Deathstroke became Deadpool, Slade Wilson became Wade Wilson. Wolverine, meanwhile, made his first appearance in The Incredible Hulk number 180 in November of 1974, before finding his home with the X-Men in Giant Size X-Men number 1 in 1975. He quickly gained popularity and has been a top Marvel character ever since. I'm very excited for you all to enjoy Deadpool and Wolverine. It's funny, exciting, action-packed, and a great closer to our 2025 Marvel Marathon. And that is going to do it for Arrow's 2025 journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are even more movies that have already been released, like Captain America: Brave New World, and are set to be released imminently, like Thunderbolts**. And I hope that you are able to check them out and enjoy them on your own with your fellow fans. For now, I'm going to leave you with a heartfelt thank you and Excelsior. Until next time.